I put a bad bitch up in her place. If she thinks she the shit, then I'm bursting her bubble. I am a dog off the leash. If I see a bone I want, I go and get it. Fuck a muzzle.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Kwaejo, and welcome back to another episode of Cheat Code. Today we have a special guest, and we're going to be talking about calculated steps and confidence. So we have no one other than Dwayne Holness, who's going to be giving us some of his ideologies and his things that he really believes in and how he does his calculated steps. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dwayne. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on? Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No doubt. We've been working on this. I've been working on this with my producer for a while, a couple months now. And I was just thinking about having guests on it that I really watch and kind of like inspire me in their work habits and what they do. And I'm always watching what you do because you've been a person that's been consistent over the years. I don't exactly remember when I met you, but I know we go way back because we were doing our thing when I was in the group with GEC and you were always doing your thing. And I know we've been in the same spaces. So you're somebody who I've always just been like seeing, being consistent and just elevating. And you have this thing, calculated steps. And I love it. I'm gonna just tell you off the rip. I love it because I believe that is really what so before we get this show is called Cheat Code. I know I didn't give you the background of everything, but this show is called Cheat Code. And what it is we get into conversations and we discuss things that others can use as cheat code to success or just to elevate in whatever they're doing. So I want you to talk to me a little bit about this calculated steps, how you came about with it, and what really inspired it.
Yeah. Well, calculated steps is a mindset, right? It's my sort of philosophy and my belief that, you know, your actions of today will be your results of tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And if we continue to, make the actions today, you can actually calculate what your life will be like. So like myself, I'm someone who wakes up between 5 and 6 every single day in the morning, which gives me a lot more time to do things. So if I was to calculate that for the next 10 years, that's going to yield some results. And anything that we do is going to yield results, whether negative or positive. So if someone takes a look at their life for the past 5 years, you're going to realize you are where you are because of the 5 years that you put in, whatever it was. So I know for myself, the reason why I came up with calculated steps, because I always knew I was going to be successful. Mm-hmm. And I always knew that, I'm going to be doing great things. And in order for me to know that, I had to start today, not tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. So you always got to start today. So I know, okay, cool. Let me train my brain to wake up early. Let me train my brain to read some more. Let me train my brain to kind of do a lot of things. So if you see my neck piece here is a brain, because I heavily believe in the power of thought.
I like that. I want to ask you, you say that you always knew that you were going to be successful. How did you know that? Is that something that you were born with you already knew? Did you have people in your circle that were like, okay, like they followed your lead on certain things? Like, what was it like that an individual watching this could say, how do I know that I'm destined for greatness? What can I look at about myself that would allow me to figure out those things?
I think it's a feeling, I think it's a feeling that someone has, for myself, like, I was born in the ghetto. I was born in the ghetto in the slums of Jamaica. We didn't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I go back when I'm in Jamaica, I'm in the ghetto. I'm in the bottom of the bottom. So the only thing I know was up. And when I came to Canada, I started to see things. And I think I seen things more on TV of what success looked like. Yeah. And I was like, yo, I want that. Yeah. And I never ever thought that I couldn't attain it. Yeah. So I just knew that some way, somehow I had to get it. And I knew I felt inside myself that I deserved better. And I never shied away from saying I deserve better. There's a lot of people that would say, yo, I'm gonna be a millionaire, and then they're gonna laugh or they're gonna play it down afterward. Like you'll notice that with people. Like people will say, yo, I'm gonna get a Bentley, ha 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 ha. right? Like, no, if I say I'm gonna get a Bentley, I'm gonna fucking get a Bentley. You know what I'm saying? There's no joke.
Yeah.
So we usually joke it off because it's so daring. You know, when people dare so much and say they're gonna get millions of dollars and this, they get comfort in the afterthought of the laugh. They start like joking about it. You know what I mean? But I always told people like, yo, I'm going to be successful whether you like it or not. And you'll see me in the next 5 years and see if I'm joking.
Yeah.
You know, that's just kind of it. Time yields all results.
For sure. And I have so many questions that I want to ask you. So forgive me, like if I cut you short, because I want to get them off before I forget them. But you seem like a person who has never been shy of your confidence and what you're striving to attain for yourself. Like, again, I want to ask you, like, what made you be that confident individual? Again, I talked to you about this before this, and there was an image, I didn't get the chance to find it, but you had this image and you were just talking and you were just, I can't remember exactly what it was. You're like, yo, fuck, if anybody feels intimidated by this is how I feel. Like, this is what I'm confident about. Like, this is not for the weak. If you're weak, like, get out of here. And you've always had that about you. Like, what was it that made you, like, be that confident?
I think just growing up alone, man. You know what I mean? Like, I think just growing up alone and just sort of like, I had nobody tell me nothing. Like, at the end of the day, my mom didn't tell me nothing. Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. So like, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like I always found confidence in myself because I look in the mirror and I see me.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, I don't look in the mirror to see what everybody else sees of me. I see who I am. I know who I am. So, you know, whenever I talk, my talk it's just coming from my heart. So it's like, however you interpret it, if that hurts your feelings, that's on you. Right.
And you said something also too, like your neck piece is your brain, right? You said that, you were talking about that?
Yeah.
I said, when this year started, I said something that I really wanted to get into. And I was just telling myself, I said, yo, I'm going to be wearing my helmet of, I told this to myself. I said, I'm going to be wearing my helmet of salvation this year. Like, I'm never forgetting it. From I wake up, I'm putting on my helmet of salvation. And the reason that I said it, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Bible, but I'm sure you know about the helmet of salvation. But the reason I said it was because, like, a lot of people, they have weak minds. Right? Like, they have one idea, somebody tells them something, they're not confident. And I know for me personally, I'm a very confident individual. And I just feel like I train my mind consistently. Like, I remember, like, just certain things, I would put myself in certain positions. I would talk to certain females because, let's say, like a bad bitch, like a man might be intimidated because he's over here and a bad bitch is over here. But I remember back in the days, I would always go and talk to females out of my league. So it's like, I would never let a female think that, oh, because you're here and I'm here, I can't attain you. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't about getting the female. It was just about training my mind that I could always do that. Or I would go to conferences in the States in the music industry so that I could know that, yeah, I'm here in Toronto, but I could be around these individuals. So I think, how do you keep your mind there where it's like, or tell us a cheat code that somebody could do to elevate their mind to get to that level that you're on?
Write it down. You know, I think the biggest key to success is to have a clear vision. And when you have a clear vision, it makes the strategy easier. It makes the strategy fun. You know, if you have an end result in mind, then you can just have fun with how you're going to get there. A lot of people are not clear on where they want to go. And I think you should spend a lot of time just clarifying the vision. Where do you want to go? For me, I'm having fun in my life. I've been having fun because
like, and it looks like it. It looks like it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I've been having fun, and it's just kind of cool when I can sit here and say, oh, let me go make some more creative hats.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go give them out for free. Yeah. Let me go, you know, because the purpose of the creative hat, I can tell you the clear vision for everything I do. So the purpose for the creative hat is to create conversations in the creative world, because I believe the creative world is very undervalued, because, you know, we're always sort of looked at as, oh, they're not going to be the next doctor. I put this on my head because I'm making doctor money. You know what I mean? I'm making real bread. So it's like, people look at creatives like they're not going to be shit. And I stand for that. So you just have to have a clear vision on why you do things. And then it just makes the strategy easy to get there.
Yeah. Okay. Another question that I have for you, with your confidence and being the individual that you are, have you ever had situations, or do you ever come upon situations where you feel that others feel intimidated by you knowing who you are or the confidence that you bring?
Oh yeah, I mean.
And how do you deal with that? Because sorry to cut you off. I say that because on one end, no man is an island. We all need a bunch of individuals to work with. But you might be a confident individual just in yourself, not saying that you're cocky and you're bashing anybody, but then others don't want to mesh with you and come together on creative ideas because they're really intimidated by you, but they're saying other things. I don't like that person or whatever. How do you deal with that?
Get out of the room as fast as you can. Find another room. I think wow. we think there's how many? There's 7 billion people on this planet. You think everyone's gonna match? You got to find people that match your energy at the end of the day. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Especially being in Canada, where everyone's shy, everyone's nervous.
Yeah.
Ain't no one talking to talk. Ain't no one can come to me and talk my shit like how I talk.
Talk that shit.
You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. I've traveled the world. I've seen people shine. I've seen people shine. When you look at Diddy, you see him shine. When you look at people from other places of the world, you see them shine, and they don't apologize for shit. Out here, in Canada, we're very soft. As much as you can see the toughest person act tough, like when you get them in the room with them and you stand toe to toe with them, they ain't saying what they've been saying.
I've been saying that. Yep.
So when people feel intimidated, you just delete them.
Yeah.
You just delete them. They're not ready for your energy. They're not ready for the level that you're bringing, because it's like we're all lights and we all shine at different levels. You know what I'm saying? I always had a thing in my mind, and this is what stays in my mind that keeps me confident. It's like, what would I say to Jay-Z if I was in the room with him right now? A lot of people don't know what the fuck to say.
Yeah.
Because Jay-Z doesn't care about none of that petty, corny, whack ass shit.
Yeah.
If you're not coming with brilliant ideas, if you're not coming with a level of confidence in your ideas, if you're not confident in yourself, that shows. Confidence shows. Everyone can see someone that's confident and that's not confident. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, get out of here, bro.
That's a fact. Now I want you guys to pay attention to that, of what he said, because that's inspiring. I've never thought about it like that. And this is something I ask personally for myself, dealing with others when your confidence shines and they feel intimidated. Get the fuck out the room. You don't have to change yourself. You don't have to feel like, oh my goodness, just get the fuck out the room. Like he said, there's 7 billion people in the world. You can deal with somebody else.
It's just top on that. It's all about value. At the end of the day, if nobody's providing value, then they don't need to be there. You know what I mean? We don't need everyone's opinions if you're not providing any value.
Yeah.
Like, are you putting money on the table? Are you putting food on the table?
Right.
That's when you have something to say. But if you're not doing that, then get out of here.
Right. That's a fact. And like, there's a lot of individuals oh man, wow, yo, yeah. You really touched on it when you said in Canada, I love to go to New York. And the first time I went to New York, I feel like I went there just because I feel like New York is more my personality, where they're just, aggy, like, they'll tell you something straightforward. Nobody's feelings are getting hurt. So I like to tap into that a lot, just to, bring that out of myself. But how can some people get like in my past episodes or other episodes not pertaining to this one, I talk about confidence, and I talk about how individuals first need to learn how to master their confidence. How can you tell an individual to master his confidence within himself first?
Yo, confidence starts with how you look at yourself. Yo, when I'm in the shower, when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I'm going, Who's that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you can't love yourself, to that level, then you can't shine. You can't shine outwards. You got to shine inwards first.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta be ready to take yourself on a date. Treat yourself like you're about to like take that girl on a 5-star trip. You take yourself on a 5-star trip. Right. You buy yourself the most luxurious things.
Right.
You treat yourself the way you want to be treated first before you can treat anybody else good.
Right. And that's the big factor right there. If you're not doing those things for yourself first, it's going to be hard for you to be confident when you're around and amongst other people. You need to be able to do that for you first. If you're out of shape, then you're not going to look at yourself as a super confident person. So that's somewhere you might start. If you like being out of shape, then that's you. But you want to start with how you look. You want to start with your style. You want to start with one thing that I said is you want to get a trait where you know that it's a skill that you can do and nobody can see you. If you love something, do that skill. Be the best in that fucking skill. So when you get around other people, they know that you're the master of that. And that's something that you could do today while after watching this show that you could go on and you could work on how to be confident within yourself. That's something right there.
Yeah, man. I think it's just you gotta find it, man. You gotta find your sauce.
Yeah.
You gotta find your sauce because it's just like a lot of people make excuses. And excuses make today easy, but tomorrow harder. So for me, I make it in myself to never make excuses. I don't like to hear excuses. I don't like excuses coming out of my mouth at all because I'm doing myself a disservice. Yeah. Your word is your bond.
Yeah.
And a lot of people lie on themselves.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a person that if I say I'm gonna be 5 minutes early, I'm gonna be 5 minutes early. If I say I'm not going to be available, I'm not available. But a lot of people talk and they just lie to themselves. If you know you're not going to show up tomorrow, be brave enough to say you're not going to show up tomorrow. It's very simple, but it's easy to lie to yourself.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people lie to themselves and 5 years later, they ain't shit.
Yeah. That's a fact. Another thing that you said is that your confidence came from you being alone a lot. Nobody was really able to tell you shit. So I want to talk about that real quick. So you're obviously a person who's comfortable. You were comfortable in being alone and going through that. I feel like, okay, that's important because I feel like a lot of people can't be alone. And I feel like when you're alone, like again, like I've taken so many trips and I like that there's so many things that I find like similar about me and you. And that's why I wanted to bring you up. You said that you've seen the world, you've went and you've done certain things. I've taken myself on a lot of trips and I know for me personally, I bring value to the people that follow me on social media and so on and so forth, because I'll be an individual that will get up and I will go to LA, Miami, whatever. I'll immerse myself in conferences, but I'm doing it from an angle where I'm showing my followers that, yo, you can do this too. Like, it's just me by myself. I'm just getting up and I'm going that. And people hit me up and people have been like, yo, I'm inspired by the way you just get up and you go and you travel and you do this. Or I'm inspired by you being an individual that's from, North Rex and graduating from one of the most prestigious universities in Toronto. And I'm glad that I'm able to provide that value for those individuals. But that comes from me being super comfortable with being alone. You know what I'm saying? So how is it? Whoa, you said it, but how is it when you're alone and you're developing, like you're building your character? Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, when you're alone, you discover every side of yourself, the good side, the dark side, every side of yourself. And it could become scary, when you're just sitting with your own mind, that's where you're in the gym, when you're by yourself with your own mind. You cut out all the noise, you cut out all the distractions.
Yeah.
Your mind starts to talk to itself. Your left brain and your right brain starts to communicate. Yeah. And you really sort of start to map things out. Like I can sit here by myself and map out my whole year without any distraction. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's the fun part for me. It's like, yo, get out of here. I'd rather not be around people because I'm like, okay, cool. 2022 is done. Let me think about what I want to do for 2023. Let me see what I want to do for 2024. Let me see what I could do now that 2 years from now I'll be good. Let me see what I can do now. So 5 years from now, I'll be good. You know what I'm saying? Then you start to really sort of take your own, and it might take you 2 days to really come to an answer.
Yeah.
But you need that time by yourself to just let it breathe, right? You gotta let that shit breathe.
Yeah. One thing another question. We don't have too much time. We're wrapping up soon, but one more question that I have is, in this calculated step ideology that you have for an individual who's watching this, a lot of times just because you have calculated steps doesn't necessarily mean that everything is going to go according to plan. How do you bounce back when you and I feel like it's even worse when you have the blueprint and something doesn't work, because it's like, what? I did everything that I'm supposed to do. This is it right here. How have your practices been in bouncing back and staying motivated and keeping on and going?
Well, calculated steps is a calculation. So when I do bump into like areas of like struggle, right? I'm a person, I've been documenting my entire life for the past 12, 13 years. I got everything. So, for me to really sort of, it's like I can go back into my books and see where I went wrong, or what were the playbook, right? Like, I treat everything like a game, like life is a game. Like life is a whole all-star championship.
Yeah.
Right. Where it's just like, read the play, study the play. Maybe you didn't pass the ball over here. Maybe, maybe you could have did a layup instead of you take that 3-pointer. You know what I'm saying? So you only fail because there's something that you missed. So like you got to go back and just sort of study, retrace your steps, right? Retrace the steps. That's another calculated steps. You got to retrace the steps, right? And really, so when you lose a key, right? The first thing you think about is, where was I last?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where could I have left
practical?
it?
Yeah.
You be very practical about your steps. And then you're like, okay, cool. I wasn't able to make a meal because I spent too much over there. Right. So it's like, it's very important to retrace, retract, and recalculate. You always got to recalculate every single day. You recalculate, numbers are going to fluctuate, your grind is going to fluctuate.
Yeah.
So, and then your mind changes too. So, I like to calculate, and I like to, like even for me to do this, like it's a whole calculation, what I mean? It makes sense for where I'm at right now. So, okay, cool.
I appreciate that. We're just wrapping up, but I want to say I thank you for coming on the show. Like, you provided a hell lot of value, and I know you would. I knew you would. That's why it was essential for me to reach out to you and see if you could do this. And again, once again, I appreciate you for coming and giving us your time. Where could they find you on social media?
You could just hit me up on Dukey Dukes. That's DUKEY DUKEZ, or you can follow my business page at Corex Creative. That's COREX Creative. Yeah, man, we do everything digital media. Work with some of the biggest companies like the LCBO, Canadian Screen Awards. Toured with Lauryn Hill. Toured with Chronix. Like, what can't I do?
What can't you do? What? Tell me, what can't you do?
There's nothing I can't do.
That's the answer.
I'm unstoppable.
And I like that. And I like that energy about you, my brother. Once again, I want to appreciate you for coming on and providing value with me today on this show. And just again, love. Thank you. Everything you do, blessings, and we'll catch up.
Yeah, appreciate it. Hey, I've been watching your journey, and I've seen. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with what you've been doing. You changed your whole shit up. I seen the confidence come up. You got your whole look right. You know what I'm saying? I seen all that stuff. So yeah, man, this is what you're doing is that this is a cheat code.
Yeah. Providing value for the next generation to come. And I appreciate that. Once again, love. I appreciate you again.